Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good morning. Good morning Santosh. Good morning Vahini. How is everyone doing? Good morning Siri. Tejasvi, good morning. Okay, so to begin our class, with the usual instructions that good morning Talla. Usual instructions, keep your mobile cameras off, sit in a place where you get good network. If you have to send any message, do it on the ID of Astik or send it to everyone. Right? Okay, we begin our class today. I think you had a paper on Sunday. How was the paper? What are your thoughts on the paper? How many of you attempted it? How many of you gave the paper? Deepak, you gave the paper. What was the result, beta? Vaini, good. How many marks did you score? Just going through your paper. How many marks did you score? 70 out of 100. Good. That is a good score. Well done, Deepak. What about the others? Have you attended the paper? Manasa, Shashank, Rishika, Navya, Veronica, all these numbers, Vijay, Suren, Siddharth, Yashwant, Padmakant, Ganesh, Dinesh, Sainath, Kartik, Hanak, Tejasvi, Charita, Venu. How was the paper? Did you find it good, easy, difficult? How was it? Satvika got 100. Very good, Satvika. That is great. Can you send message on the other ID, beta? Don't send message on this one because it becomes difficult for me to see these messages. So 100 out of 100, Satvika, that is great. You got all the questions correct. Well done. Varun, 56. Okay. People, doesn't matter. Um, some topics might be tough. Well done, Shri. 70 out of 100. That is a good score. I must congratulate you for getting something around 70, 80. I mean, that's a wonderful score. Even if you're getting 50, doesn't matter, beta. Try to understand whatever score you get. 56 Varun out of 100. Not bad. You can always improve. See, with yes, Vaini, I told you, only attempt those questions which you are able to understand. Okay, Deepak, I understand your point, but the thing is, not all topics are similar. Okay, there are some topics which might be tough. You might find it tough. I mean, for entire physics, you might not find it simple. If I know, once we are ahead in topic, rotation is the most difficult topic that you will encounter in the entire syllabus. Combined with chemistry, maths, everything that you're going to read, rotation is going to be the most difficult chapter for you to comprehend. Things will go up and down, doesn't matter. What matters is that you are attempting the paper and you are scoring marks, no matter what the marks are. With every paper, you get wiser. You get wiser, you understand your mistakes. Deepak, you must have understood your mistake, what mistakes you are making. Vahini understood that she is getting a lot of negative marks. That means she should not be attempting questions that she doesn't understand. I hope you got the message, Deepak Siri. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be sorry, beta, for negative marks. See, you have to learn lessons other than being sorry and doing nothing. Don't be sorry. Learn from it. Learn that, you should only attempt questions that you are sure about. I told you, only 4 to 5 questions in the entire paper is what you can guess. If you are guessing more than that, this is one thing that will trouble you a lot. Sometimes your guessing would be right and you will get high marks. As I think Deepak or someone was telling me in the last paper that he has guessed and he got marks and he is not happy. 3 or 4 questions in the entire paper is okay. You can guess them if you are sure. Not more than that. Whiny mice must have done it. But see, there are distractions in life everywhere. I also get distracted. Just before my class started, my son was crying, was asking me for something, and I was busy thinking about the class, what I had to teach you, what I had to tell you. Distractions are everywhere. Everyone gets distracted. The only thing is, we must keep our focus intact. Good morning, Saitarul. Send your message on the other ID. We must keep our focus. See, there are students who don't have all the resources even that you have. Right? They are facing hardships in life. Teja, take an example. People are facing a lot of hardships, but that doesn't mean they are facing a lot of disturbances in their life, mental, physical, all sorts of disturbances are there. But if you have to succeed in life, Varun, everyone, you'll have to take those things in your stride and move forward. Learn from what you have done. If you have scored good, learn how can you get better. If you have scored less, remember this is a very, very small topic of the entire curriculum. If I say that there are 15 chapters in physics, in 11, there are 15 more chapters. In physics, in 12, 30 chapters. Out of those 30 chapters, it's only one chapter you are being tested on. That does not tell you how you are going to perform in the final exam, but that's going to prepare you for your final exam. In tests that are coming up, you might be getting questions from 1D, 2D as well. I would be putting questions from everywhere. End of the day, if anyone asks me what is the syllabus of the exam in this part, I only give one answer. And the answer is you'll only get those things that has been told to you. Whatever has been covered is the course. I will not take any specific name of any topic. Yes, Satvik, answer is B for this one. You have to be prepared with the entire curriculum at one time. I know the way you have been learning all these years, you have got into this habit of doing revisions just before the exam. Whether I think it is good or bad is a different issue. But imagine this. If you have to revise for one topic, and you take 5 hours of revision, yes, it's like board exams. Imagine the day when you are going to appear for your JEE. That day, JEE mains or advanced, how will you revise? There will be 30 topics, 30 chapters in physics, 30 chapters in chemistry, 35 chapters in maths, 115 chapters in all that you have studied in 2 years. How will you revise them? You will not be able to revise. So get out of this habit of revising first of all. You have studied something, you must know it. Revision for me means you might be confused about something. You just open your book, see, okay, that was I was confused on. Okay, I've seen it. That is for me revision. For me, Deepak, that is revision. I get your point, beta. You're trying to say the same point in different ways. I got it. There are topics, there are going to be topics that you might not understand. Keep on. Don't worry. I'm there for you. I'll be dealing with all the topics. Don't worry. I'll take care of entire thing. I've taken command of your physics, and that physics will always remain there. Don't worry about it. I'll get to revise everything. Once I'm done with my part, once I'm done with 11th standard, we'll go into a total revision thing. But again, I'm not a very big fan of revision. As I told you, revision is going to hunt you down. Revision is going to haunt you because you will not be able to revise for your final exam. If you can't do it for your final exam, don't do it for your intermediate exam, because then you get into the mode. From next test onwards, I will not be telling you any syllabus. Syllabus is up till what we have learned. Everything, starting from first chapter till now. I can give you anything in this universe. Okay. So that's how things begin. See, there are questions I have given you. The paper was as per the standard of JEE mains, not maybe above JEE advanced standard, up till the standard of JEE mains and JEE advanced, somewhere between JEE mains and JEE advanced. Yes, beta. Basic maths is basically not a part of physics. You will get question from basic maths in maths, not in physics. No one will ask you a question of basic maths in physics. Yeah, they can ask you a question of vectors, if you call that with basic maths, because vectors is a part in maths as well as physics. 3D geometry is a part in maths. You might get chapter from there. You might get questions from there. Don't worry. We'll cover everything. I'll give you, see, once you are under my command or under my guidance, I'll teach you the way that I will teach you the way that you should be done. Don't worry, Vahini. I understand your part. I understand what Deepak is saying. Don't worry. I'm there. I'll be covering all the topics. Don't worry. Don't worry. We have got a lot of time. We've got lots of time. Don't worry. I'll cover everything up. Don't worry. Just relax. Just concentrate on what we are doing right now, and you should be doing good. This paper was as per the standard of JEE mains and advanced, somewhere between JEE mains and advanced. I'm not saying advanced because advanced does not only have one single option correct, because it has multiple types of questions. That is why it was not the paper for advanced, but it was definitely the paper for mains, and questions were pretty straightforward, simple. And these are the questions that you can expect. I'm trying to get you all sorts of questions that are possible. For example, this question, the first one, it's very simple. The ball is projected with a kinetic energy E, angle of position is 45. At the highest point, what will be the kinetic energy? If the velocity with which it is projected is V, at the highest point, it becomes V cos theta, V cos 45, because the vertical velocity becomes 0. The kinetic energy E becomes half mv square. The kinetic energy at the point A, highest point, becomes half mv cos 45 plus square. So it becomes E by 2. Yes, beta, you will find a lot of textbook for, you will find a lot of textbook. Only one of it. Which one you have received for physics? I have no idea which one you have received. You can just, you actually don't need more textbooks, beta. If you are following my notes, I hope you have got my notes. I hope you are solving my DPPs. More than enough. More than enough, beta. More than enough. Tell me the name of the book that you got. I don't know what book you have got. You probably got my notes, beta. Handwritten notes. Did you get any book as well? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. If you have to buy a book for physics, you can buy SC Verma. That is one basic book that everyone must have. SCV. I hope you know the name of SC Verma, right? That is one basic book that you all must have if you want to have it. Okay, Lone, what is V-Root? Okay, so this is one book that every IIT aspirant must have, SCV. If you still want more practice, more questions, and you are able to do all my questions, then you can probably go and buy this Singate series. It has got 5 or 6 books in this series. 5 or 6 books in this series for Singate. This is my favorite because it covers everything that can be asked in JEE mains or advanced, even board exams. And I think they also give you DPP's color sheet. So if you want to buy something, the first book that you should buy for physics is SC Verma. The other book, according to me, not other books, because it comes in a set of 5 or 6, you should buy Singate. If you want to, else the notes that you are getting, the DPPs you are getting, the written notes that I'm sending you are more than enough. If you can do this and you find extra time, then only you go for this. SCV is only for the questions. I'm not asking you to read theory from any of the books, because the theory that I'm giving you is more than enough. Only for the question part, if you want to do that. Am I clear with this? Okay, and don't worry, there might be topics that you're not able to understand. Don't worry, I'm there. I'll take care of everything. Don't worry. Trust me. You trust me, no? So trust me, I'll take care of everything. Okay. Question number 2 was very simple. The stone is projected at an angle of theta. Maximum height is h. So you know maximum height. You have to calculate time of flight. Time of flight is 2u sine theta by g. From maximum height, get the value of u. Put it in this equation. You will get the answer. It's very simple. Simple manipulation. The horizontal range of a projectile is 4 root 3 times its maximum height. What is the angle of projection? I gave you relation between maximum height and range. I'll give you, I've given you maximum height and range. Yes, beta. Deepak, you have got them? That's good. That is what I was talking about. SC1. That is SC1. Just see those books. If you want to read theory, you can also read theory from that and you can solve questions. The questions that were given in the examination hall were very simple. You have to be careful on what questions you are attempting. For example, this question, this is a tower of height 70 meters and you throw a projectile at an angle of 30 degrees. Now, there are some questions in an examination hall. For example, there are 25 questions in all that you have to attempt. Now, out of these 25 questions, you will find some 5 to 10 questions in the category from medium to hard, medium to bit hard. Now, these 5 to 10 questions may take 4 to 5 minutes of your time. May take 4 to 5 minutes of your time. Now, you have to be very careful in selecting those 5 to 10 questions because if there are only 5, you will lose 20 minutes in solving those 5 questions. Then you are left with 20 questions and the time you are getting is only 40 minutes. Only 2 minutes per question. You have to solve 25 questions in 60 minutes for physics if you are not able to save time from chemistry. So that gives you more than 2 minutes to solve one question. If you're spending 4 minutes or 5 minutes in one question and you're doing for 10 questions, if you're doing for 10 questions, you are done because 50 minutes are gone. You have to be very careful while you're attempting questions. If you find a question which you know that you can do, but you know that it will take time. For example, this question may take time. You just put a star mark and move ahead. Why do you do it? So that you can save time for the other questions. And while you have done the entire paper and you have time left, then only you attempt such questions which you think that you can solve, but you think that it will take some time. So you have to get smart. We call it street smart. You have to get street smart. See, JEE is not about just hard work. It's about being smart, doing smart work. Smart hard work, I call it. I've devised a new word for this and I call it smart hard work. Now, what is this smart hard work? You must know what are your strengths. You must know which questions to attempt. You must definitely know which questions not to attempt, which questions to mark and attempt later on. That is why you give all these papers, so that you get smart. You are working hard, I'm sure. All of you are working hard. You're spending a lot of time. Your parents are spending a lot of money also. And you must take care of that. You have to be doing smart hard work. Smart hard work. You should know which question you should be able to do it in a minute. Reading the question, looking at the question, you should be able to understand, yes, this question I can do it in a minute to win it. Question number 5 is a minute to win it. Two bodies are thrown up at an angle of 45 degrees and 60 degrees with the horizontal. If the bodies acquire same vertical height means their vertical components are same. U1 sine theta 1 is U2 sine theta 2. And that is the solution of this question. Whatever the answer is, not concerned with the answer. A minute to win it. You can do it in a minute. You can do it in less than a minute. This question. As soon as you look at the question, you should be able to mark the point. I am not seeing the question. I've just marked the point. Because I know that you know it. At what point of projectile motion, acceleration and velocity are perpendicular. Acceleration is always downwards. So basically it is asking where is the velocity horizontal. Where is the velocity horizontal? See, I marked the right option at the topmost point. So there will be questions. Trust me, there will be questions that you can just mark. Find out those questions. Mark those questions that you think you can do, but you need time. Because time is one liberty that you don't have. You'll have to save time. From where will you save time? The only way in PCM that you can save time is from chemistry. Your chemistry has to be good. Save time from chemistry. If you can't save time from chemistry, 25 questions in 60 minutes, about 2 minutes for each question. You have to be smart. And trust me, the paper can be attempted in 3 hours because the paper is made in such a way. It will have very easy questions. It will have medium questions, maybe 4 or 5 somewhat difficult questions. If you mark your strategy correctly, you should be able to score high marks. On this note of scoring high marks, I told you one of my students got AIR3 in ISI. He just messaged me yesterday that he was appearing for his JEE mains this year and his score is coming as 243. Now, the score of 243, he's telling me, and you will be astonished by how many questions he have attempted wrong. I'll tell you how many questions he attempted wrong. He attempted 22 questions in physics out of 25, all correct. All correct. Amazing, no? Then he attempted, I think, 19 questions in chemistry. His chemistry is weak. In the previous attempt, he attempted only 12. That's why he got his numbers down. This time, I think he attempted 19 questions in chemistry. All right. Everything right. Maths, I think 20 or 21. I'm not sure. Only one question he is not sure whether it's correct or not. Only one question he is not sure whether it's correct or not. So he is counting it as wrong. He's counting this question as wrong. Now, I think if you add it, multiply it by 4, subtract 1, I think the score is 243. Going to get 243 marks, which will land him in somewhere around 99.5 to 99.7%. But I still think that he can score better in JEE Advanced because he is extraordinarily brilliant. So I think he could get a better rank in JEE Advanced. I think he'll appear for JEE Advanced as well. But this is what he's scoring right now. And if he says that it is 243, I'll show you. See, I don't know the result now. When his results come, he will send me his, JEE main ka sheet, and I will be posting it in the group. I'll be showing it to you. If he says 243, it will be 243. It can be more than 243. It will not be less than 243. Whatever you do must be precise. This is what I'm looking at. This may be very perfect, even more perfect than I think, because if this question does not go wrong, he will give you all answers correct. And he has checked it from the official key. Official key was released yesterday, I think, for that attempt on 31st, whatever is that. Smart, hard work. Smart, hard work. Why I am giving you example? Because he does what I tell him. He does it. I tell him, better do this, he'll do this. Just do it. Have faith. Have faith in your teachers that are teaching you. And I'm sure that you can do better than this. 243 is the mark that he has set up for you guys from this year. I hope 22, I'm not concerned about maths and physics because I don't teach him that. Physics, he got 22 correct. Can I find someone who can do more than 22 correct? Not here in this exam, one topic, two topic. No, I'm looking at the final exam, final JEE mains. I need someone who can cross more than 22. I have a student from the last year who did 24 correct. Ajit Kudre, he did 24 correct. So, be smart, save time, and only attempt question that you are sure about. Okay? You have this sheet. I think you can easily see their vertical height, their maximum heights are same, so their u sin theta is same. So which one will have more range? That one which has more horizontal velocity will have more range. These are simple things. Right? These are the questions that you can mark straight away. They are the questions that you can mark straight away. You have to be careful. Graph questions are the ones that are in fashion. You must be very careful about these graph questions. Yes, Deepak, Saitarun, is there anything that you want to ask? Graph questions. You will have some graph questions in your. And graph questions basically can come from any topic in mechanics, They can definitely come in thermodynamics, PV graph, VT graph, and all these graphs. Right now, these two topics, work power energy, can also have graph question. I mean, mechanics, I mean, you can make graph questions in almost each and every topic in physics. But mechanics and thermodynamics, sure, you will get a graph question. Sure, 100% sure. Give your papers religiously. Don't get disheartened by your scores, or don't get elated by your scores. Both the cases are different and difficult. If you get good scores, try to score better. If you get perfect score, try to get that perfect score in the least possible time. Make yourself better and things will be fine. Okay, on that note, I think I have told you enough about the paper and the way you must be attempting it. Let us now move on to what we were discussing in the first case. And where were we? Can you tell me what we were discussing in the last class? What we were discussing in the last class? Anyone? See, I have short-term memory loss. I forget what we discussed. What did we discuss? I think we were discussing questions, right? We were discussing questions and we were trying to solve questions on what I call equilibrium. Am I correct? We were solving questions on equilibrium. Am I correct or not? Yes, I'm on more often or not, I'm correct. So now what we'll do, we'll wind up this equilibrium wala chapter, subtopic, I should call it, today by solving some questions. And in this class, what questions I'm gonna take are the questions from the sheets that I have, notes I have given to you. So I'll be taking questions from that sheet. Let me see what is the first question that I should take. And the first question is this one coming to you right now. Here. Oops, didn't come. Okay. Sometimes this Zoom thing troubles me a lot. Question number 5, and that is what we are looking at. In the arrangement shown in the figure, what should be the mass of block A so that the system remains at rest? Do not do the second part of this question. We'll do it later on. You have to find the mass of this block A. At the same time, you must also find the tension in both strings. How many strings you see here? Anyone? How many strings you see here? Anyone? 3. 3? Why? How did you see 3? I'm not sure there are 3. Santosh is saying 1. Santosh is definitely not 1. It's somewhere between 1 and 3. It cannot be 1.5. So it is 2. There are 2 strings here. 2. Yes. 2. This is string number 1 if I call it. This is string number 2 if I call it. Can you tell me the value of mass M? And can you tell me the tension in both strings? Your time starts now. How will you do this? You know the steps. Keep on doing those steps correctly in the correct order. And I'm sure you will land up with the answer. I'm not very concerned with the answer. I'm more concerned with your steps. Over to you. I hope everyone is awake. Let me give you a wake-up call. Roll numbers, whatever roll numbers are there. Manasa, Shreya, Shashank, Rishika, Navya, Veronica, Vahini, Yashwant, all these roll numbers. Vijay, Shrivalli, Surendra, Siri, Siddharth, Satvika, Sai Sarda, Rocky, nice name. Reddy, Padmakant, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Yashwant, Karthik, Shashank, Janu, Hanak. Where are you, beta? Deepak, Santosh, Charita, Saitarun, Venu, all these numbers. Aishwarya, where are you, beta? Ajay, all these numbers again. How many of you are trying the question? Yes, Hannah, good. Good to see you. Welcome to the class. You did not say anything, so I thought that you are not there. Vaini is there. Vaini is trying the question. Good. Vaini, waiting for answers, beta. Answers don't matter. I mean, the efforts matter. Answers don't matter. I must know that you are trying. That is all what I need to know. Answers will come. Don't worry about the answer, because remember what Lord Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita. Do your stuff, do your karma. Don't look for the phal. Don't look for the result. Your karma is to try the question, not the result. Result is not in your hands. You do the karma correctly, result will already come. Chalo, 1 minute. I'll keep shut. 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'll start solving the question. If anyone got the answer, I think answer is here. Mass is 3 kg. If anyone got the answer, I would be pretty pleased to for that person, student, to raise his hand and tell me, sir, I have the answer. Do you have the answer? I have the answer. Let me change the color of this. 30 seconds left. Anyone got the answer? Time is ticking. Okay. I would help you out. Remember the steps. Step number 1, draw a sketch. Sketch is already there. I will not waste time in drawing it again. Step number 2, isolate all bodies. Bodies are very far from each other, so I'll assume that they're isolated. Step number 3, draw free body diagrams with all the forces. Let me draw the forces. And how do I start with the forces? I start with tension, because tension gives me the most tension. So I start with the tension part. T1. This is also same string, T1. This is also string T1. Remember, tension only pulls, never pushes. T1. When I go on the other side of the block, different string, different tensions, I call it T2. I call this as T2. I call this as T2. I call this one as T2. Done with drawing tensions. Let me enhance the view. You are seeing it chota. I don't like chota things. I like bada things. So I can, I think, increase the size here. It's just like your Ant-Man, in that movie my son was seeing last day, Captain America Civil War. Ant-Man goes bigger. And the bigger he goes, and the more terrifying he becomes. So I make it bigger. So Ant-Man has increased his size. So I'm done with the tensions. What do I do next? Let me start with the free body diagrams of the block A. Let me call the mass as M. So I'm going to write the mass as M. So the only force acting here is the weight mg downwards. So mg is downwards. There is no other force. There is no contact. It is not kept on any block. So this becomes the free body diagram of this gentleman. How will I draw the x and y axis for this one? Y axis will be vertical, x axis will be horizontal. There is no force on the x axis, only force on the y axis. So I can straight away write the equation of this. What will be the equation for this one? I can straight away write it is an equilibrium. This implies that T1 will be equal to mg. Can I have raised hand that we understand this, sir? We could draw this diagram of block A. We have drawn the forces correctly, and we got this equation as T1 equal to mg. Only 5 people have raised their hands, which is only 10% of entire population in the class, which is not good enough. So I start with the numbers. I don't call the numbers. So whatever numbers you have, please respond. Manasa, Shriya, Shashank, Navya, some numbers, Konda, then some numbers, Siddharth, Satvika. Satvika, where are you, beta? Shai Sarda, Rocky, I love your name. Reddy, Padmakan, Ganesh, Dinesh, Praveen, Kevin, Karthik, Shashank, Charita, Venu, then some numbers, then Ajay, then Rahul. Are we there, everyone? Okay. So I'm done with this block. Let us come on to the other hanging block. They are hanging, so let us first solve them so that their hanging is justified. They're hanging, so I don't want to keep anyone hanging. Okay, tension T2 is here. The mass of this block is 2 kg, so 20 Newton becomes the downward force, gravity. There is no other force, no other contact. So this thing becomes the free body diagram of this one. As soon as I get the free body diagram, I must be able to write the equation. Y-axis will be vertical, x-axis horizontal, no force on x-axis, only force on y-axis. So what is the equation for this one? Anyone? What will be the equation of this block for equilibrium? Y-axis forces must be equated. So T2 will be equal to 20. Yes, Vahini, you can write this T1 as 10m because G is 10. You can write it like this. So I'm done. I'm done with the second block. Now the only block remains is 2 kg, which is on this inclined plane. So I draw the forces. This weight, 20 newtons, comes down. I've drawn all the forces? No. Then this is kept on a surface. So there is normal reaction coming like this, N. Now the question is, how should I take the axis for this particular gentleman? I'll take a light color, this one. How should I take the axis for this particular gentleman? What should be my x and y axis like? What should be my x and y axis like? Anyone? You know how to do this, right? So your y axis should be going like this, perpendicular. This is y axis. And your x axis must go like this. Yes or no? Do we understand it or not? Do we understand this? That your x axis will be like this and y axis will be like this. Yes. Now you look at this force, 20 newtons. This 20 newtons is going vertically downwards. You have to resolve it along horizontal and vertical, and you know what will be this component. This will be 20 cos of 30. Cos of 30 is root 3 by 2. So it is 20 root 3 by 2. So this becomes 10 times root 3. Do we understand how did I get this 10 times root 3? This is 20 cos 30, and the component on this side will be 20 sine of 30. Sine of 30 is half, so this becomes 10. Now, remember, once you have resolved this force into two components, this force actually you can strike off because this force has been already resolved into components. Do we understand this? So basically this force disappears. Why it has disappeared? Because I have taken the components. I have taken the component, that means there is no need for this force. Now whatever remains is the free body diagram of this gentleman. Now I will get two equations, one along x-axis, one along y-axis. Can anyone tell me what is my equation along x-axis? What is my equation along x-axis for this? My equation along, let us first write the equation along y-axis. What is my equation along y-axis for this one? What is my equation for y-axis along this one? On the top, we have n. Upwards, we have n. Downwards, we have 10 root 3 Vahini. So n becomes 10 root 3. My normal reaction becomes 10 root 3. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hand that we understand this, sir? This is the equation along y-axis for the block 2 kg, which is kept on an incline. I have drawn that block in yellow shades. Only 6 people have understood this. Not good enough. I have written the equation along y-axis. Upward force is n. Downward force is 10 root 3, which is mg cos 30. mg is 20. 20 into cos 30. 20 into root 3 by 2. It becomes 10 root 3. Normal reaction becomes 10 root 3. Manasa, Sashank, Navya, waiting for you. Konda, Yashwant, all these old numbers. Vijay, Tinku and Chandu, Shriya, Siddharth, where are you? Satvika, Sai Sarda, Rocky, Reddy, Padmakan, Ganesh, Janesh, Yashwant, Karthik, Sashank, Are you there in the class, beta? Charita, Venu, Aishwarya, Aishwarya, where are you? Ajay, MPC, बहुत सारे MPC. Okay, this was the equation along y-axis. Can anyone now give me the equation of x-axis for this gentleman? X-axis equation for this gentleman. What is the equation along x-axis? We have T1, which is the upward force. So T1, not upwards like this. T1 is like this. Then on downwards, we have T2 and 10. So T1 becomes T2 plus 10. Do we all understand this? T1 becomes T2 plus 10. T1 is up the plane. T2 and 10 are down the plane. T1 becomes T2 plus 10. I already know the value of T2. I can put it here. My T1 becomes 20 plus 10. It becomes 30 newtons. Do we all understand this? T1 becomes 30 newtons. Once I get the value of T2 and T1, tensions are done. The only thing remains is to get the value of M. How will I get the value of M? I already know the value of T1 is 30. So 30 equates 10M, and that will give us the value of M, and M would be 3 kgs, and that is the answer that I was looking for. Do we understand this, everyone? Do we understand this question? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? Only Vaini seems to have understood the question. Not good. What about the others? 7 people have understood. Santosh, Surendra, Sai, Sri, Deepak, Janu, Vaini, Hannah, good. Rahul has understood. What about the others? So many roll numbers are there. Ajay, Venu, Charita, Sashank, Kartik, Dinesh, Ganesh, Padmakant, Reddy, Satvika, where are you, beta? Sai, Sarda, Sashank, are you get there? Shreya, all these roll numbers. Jashwan, Navya. Okay. I believe you have understood this. I will ask you to lower your hands. Now I will ask anyone who has any doubt in this question to please raise his hand. Anyone who has any doubts how I have solved this? I've drawn the sketch. No need for the sketch. Sketch is already there. Draw the free body diagram. Drawn all the forces. Then I've drawn the free body diagram of body A. T1 is up. 10M is down. T1 becomes 10M. Then I've drawn the block of hanging block of free body diagram. T2 is up. 20 is down. T2 becomes 20 newtons. Then I have drawn the free body diagram of the block on the incline. T1 up, T2 and 10 down, and up 10 root 3 down. X and Y axis are like this. N1 becomes 10 root 3. T1 becomes 30 newtons, and M becomes 3 kg. With that, we come on to the next question, and the next question looks like this. Find the magnitude of force exerted by string on the pulley. Now remember, I keep on telling this to all my students. Whenever you encounter a question which seems to be difficult, it is actually not difficult. All these so-called difficult questions are made up from small questions. But these small questions become entangled with each other. And that is how you get a complicated question. Force exerted by string on pulley is what you have to find out. How will you find out? Let us break this question into simpler part. Let me ask this question. Find the tension in the string. First, let us get the value of tension in the string. Then we will proceed on to finding out the magnitude of force exerted by string on pulley. So the first question that we are going to do is find the tension in the string. Your time starts now. Sir, why will that f is equal to 20 ignored? It was not ignored, Varun. It was not ignored. We had resolved it into two components. Once we have resolved it into two components, we have taken that force into consideration. We did not want to confuse ourselves. Once we have resolved it, we just want to work with that component along x and y, and that is why I cut it, so that you don't get confused. 20 newtons was resolved into 10 newtons and 10 root 3 newtons, and 20 newtons was done. Got it? Once you resolve the force into its components, you have taken the effect of that force. Am I clear, beta? Okay. Chalo. Solve this one. Find the magnitude of force exerted by a string on pulley. I hope all of you are trying this question. Answers are not important. Trials are. So meanwhile, you try this question. I will draw the free body diagram. Force is 10. Hannah, what do you mean by which force? I asked you to find out the tension in the string. Are you giving me the answer for the tension, or you are giving me the final answer for this force? You have to specify that answer. What answer are you giving me, Hannah? Tension is 100. Yes, Santosh, you are absolutely correct. Tension is 100 newtons. Is this the answer of the question, or what it has got to do with the answer of the question? That is what we'll try to find out. Let me start with my solution. The first step, we all know. What is the first step? Sketch. Sketch is there. Isolate bodies. There's only one body. Draw free body diagram. Let us draw the free body diagram. Let us start with tension. T, only one string. T, only one string. T and T. Then I have 100 Newton ka force downwards. There is no other force acting on this 10 kg block, and hence I get my first answer. And what is my first answer? My first answer is tension is 100 newtons. Do not worry about it. We have got the answer of tension as 100 units. But that is not the question that was asked. The question was asked, what is the magnitude of force exerted by the string on the pulley? So for that, we have to look at pulley. Now look at the pulley. Look at the pulley. This is the free body diagram of the pulley. What are the forces that you see on the pulley exerted by the tension? Now, if I could draw the free body diagram of pulley, this is my pulley. It is attached like this. If I draw the free body diagram, the forces acting on the pulley because of tension only, I'm drawing T and T. These are the two forces acting on the pulley because of tension. There is one more force acting on the pulley because of this hinge. It is fixed. This is the force in the hinge. Now, what is the force exerted by string on the pulley? Now, it has two forces, T like this and T like this. Do we agree on this? And both are at 90 degrees? Yes, you can call that a normal reaction better. T and T are at 90 degrees. Now this question becomes similar to this question. Which question? This question, that I have two vectors A and B which are at an angle theta. If you go back to the chapter on vectors, that is why you must remember everything that you have done in physics, because what you are requiring here is from the first chapter on vector. What is the magnitude of resultant? Everyone will tell me, sir, it is equal to how much? A squared plus B squared plus 2AB cos theta. Do we all remember this? A and B are two vectors inclined at an angle theta. I gave you a shortcut. If you want to find the magnitude of this force, you can call it as A squared plus B squared plus 2AB cos theta ka root. Here, theta happens to be 90 degrees. Theta happens to be 90 degrees. So what is the value of resultant? The value of resultant will be root over t square 1/4 plus t square the other force plus 2 times t into t cos of 90. Cos of 90 is 0, you must know. The answer will be root 2 times t. Do we all understand this? This will be root 2 times of t. T square plus t square becomes 2t square. You take the root of 2t square. It will be root 2 times t. Yes, Karthik, welcome to the class. Thanks for participating. R, or resultant, becomes root 2 times t. So the force, they only ask the magnitude. So the magnitude of force exerted by tension of string on the pulley is root 2 times t. T is 100, so it becomes 100 root 2. Do we understand this? The force exerted by string on the pulley is 100 root 2 newtons. Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? But you must also understand that this pulley is at rest, so someone must balance these forces. Someone must hold the pulley together, otherwise the pulley will move. Who is holding the pulley together? This hinge is holding the pulley together. This hinge is holding the pulley together. So whatever force this string is applying on the pulley, whatever force this string is applied on the pulley, this hinge is also applying on the pulley, and this hinge will apply how much force on the pulley? It will apply 100 root 2 on the pulley. How is it applying this force? Is given by this diagram. It is giving one normal reaction N1 in the upward direction. It is giving one normal reaction N2 in the rightward direction. This normal reaction N1 is equal to 100. This normal reaction N2 is equal to 100. And therefore, the force exerted by hinge on the pulley is also 100 root 2 Newton, because the pulley cannot move. Do we understand this beta, everyone? So string is applying 100 Newton here, 100 Newton here. This hinge is holding it. This bar is holding the pulley. It is applying 100 Newton upwards to cancel 100 Newton downwards. It is applying 100 Newton rightwards to cancel 100 Newton leftwards. The force applied by string on pulley is 100 root 2. The force applied by hinge on pulley is 100 root 2. Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? This is a very important concept, because there might be some times where you are asked to find the force applied by hinge on the pulley, sometimes string on the pulley. At those times, please remember what we have done in the class today. Do we understand this? Only 4 people have understood this. This is not good enough. Varun, Manasa, Siddharth, Shashank, some M 2017, Rishika, Aborgini, Navya, Yashwant, Tinku, Surendra, Siddharth, Satvika, Sai Sarda, Reddy, Yashwant, Padmakant. Do we all understand this, beta? Okay. Then we come to this question taken from your notes. Problem number 10. Last one for today. A mass M is suspended. A mass M is suspended from a rope by a rigid support P as shown in the figure. Another rope is tied at the end Q and it is pulled horizontally with a force F. If the rod PQ makes an angle theta with the vertical, then what is the tension in the string PQ? This is problem number 10 taken from your notes. I have a string. How many strings you see here? Anyone? You probably would do the problem. I'll give you this problem as homework. How many strings do you see here? Anyone? From my 3 strings. Okay, why not? It depends on your point of view. I see 2 strings. Number 1 is here. Number 2 is here. If you want to call, this is string number 3. But you can just call it as force F. So basically from where I see, I only see 2 strings. One is that teda wala string, inclined string. The other one is the string with which this block of mass M is suspended. You have to find the tension in the string PQ. And that is your question. I'll give this question as homework so that you can try it at home. Again, remember, follow the steps. This question is already solved, so you can check your answers as well. No problems in checking your answers. But trials are important. And remember what I have told you, if you keep your passion intact, Deepak, Varun, everyone, no distraction can distract you. Okay? Don't worry. There will be no distraction. Keep yourself focused. If you miss a class or two because of distraction, try not to miss them. If you miss them, try to watch it when it is put on your app. I hope all the classes are available on your app. The recording is available on your app. I'm sure it is there. You can watch the classes. I already shared notes with you. So you can see the notes. Looking at the lecture with the notes is as good as me being there. And I'm always available for you guys on the Telegram network. Anywhere, you can send me a message and I'll reply back as soon as possible. I'm awake till 2 o'clock at night. You can send me a message at any time. But may not be 6 o'clock in the morning because I just can't get up. Okay, on that note, I'll see you in the next class. That will be on Thursday. See you on Thursday. And I hope that you are enjoying the class. And I hope that all of you participate in the class. If you have any problems, anything, please ask me. I'm always there. Take care. Bye-bye. Sayonara.